I am 12 years old, and life floats by without me. All my energy goes into tiptoeing around my parents to avoid their random bursts of violence. A girl in a movie says, if parents fight more than 3 times a week, it means they're getting divorced. But Sylvia and Mauro fight 3 times a day. Why can't they get divorced already? I live in South Tyrol, a region in the Italian Alps that shares a border and a complicated history with Austria. At school, I am a ghost. In a place where your ethnicity is everything, I am the only Italian in an all Austrian school. To hear my classmates call Italians lazy, arrogant parasites is part of my daily routine. My teacher, Frau Reich, starts class saying that the aim of all Italians is to infiltrate our schools to hinder our education. Nobody thinks there is anything wrong with this, including me. I am 13, and the dull ache I felt my whole life starts turning into burning pain. I have seen 2 gay men hugging, my first encounter with queerness. My head fills with thoughts and images I can no longer silence. Soon after, I'm riding my bike to school, listening to I Kiss a Girl by Katy Perry. On my phone, I take a gender identity quiz. I don't need to wait for the result, I just know. I cry and laugh, and I cannot stop. I am 14 when I come out to my parents. It doesn't take me long to realize that we will forever love you and you will forever be our daughter don't fit well together. Maybe the we will never call you Nicola should have been a hint. I think I have never been your daughter. I am your son. And if you can see that, then maybe it's not love at all. But to say so would mean to elicit a storm of curses and screams and punches, and so I look down and keep quiet. When I come out as trans in school, a classmate says, I can tolerate your existence, but only if you don't talk about that. I am the only Italian, the only feminist, the only out queer and trans person in school. With nobody to acknowledge my pain, I soon forget that it's pain at all, and I start to think there is something fundamentally wrong with me. Silvia, my mother, expects me to dress in ultra-feminine clothes. I am hyper-aware of the curves of my body. This doesn't feel right. When I look at my reflection, I only see an ugly stranger. The whole day I'm not very talkative. Later, at a restaurant, she launches into one of her tirades about how I am selfish, arrogant, and ungrateful. Then she just stands up and leaves. I sit alone at the table, quietly eating. I want to cry, but I have unlearned how to do that long ago. After a time, she comes back. I say I'm sorry, we finish our food, and leave. And then I meet Alice, my roommate for the summer music masterclass. She's intense, rebellious, and queer. For the first time in my life, I feel seen and wanted. Alice lends me her eyes to look at myself. Nick, you're amazing, she whispers, lying in bed next to me, watching me fall asleep. With the craziness of first love, I believe her. In October of the same year, I wake up to Silvia screaming at Mauro, my father. It's the most violent fight I have ever witnessed. Does she know you're married, or did you already tell her you are divorced? From this day on, Silvia is changed. She has always been violent and unpredictable, but never so cruel. She screams at Mauro until he's sobbing incoherently. Help me, he whispers like an infant. Help you? She says. Why on earth should I even care about you? I need to get out of this house, but Celia blocks the door, turning on me. You are a monster. Nobody will ever love you. Your talent is to make people hate you. My breath is irregular, my hands tremble, my vision is blurry. For the first time in my life, I lose control. Shut up, I scream. Can't you see what you're doing to me? I grab her face and force her mouth shut. Her eyes widen under my hands. I want her to see that the pain she's causing me is destroying me, but she only sees a heartless monster who she needs to punish. I am drifting. Alicia is the only point of light, but the more I hold on to her, the more she distances herself. She hardly calls or texts me. When I call her, she answers, but she's always annoyed. I am tormented by needing to find out what is wrong with me and how to fix it so that she will love me like she used to. I realize I can't go on like this, in this limbo full of fear and self-hate. So I cut her off, and that's the end of it. I didn't know how much pain I was living with until Alicia took it away for a few months. Now that she's gone, the suffering is unbearable. I am 15, and in the middle of the night, I feel a loneliness so terrible it jerks me awake. I hear my mother's insults, feel my classmates' stares. I'm not feeling pain anymore. I have become pain. And then the flood breaks. My breath hitches, a noise like one from a wounded animal leaves my throat, and I am sobbing uncontrollably. You are broken, I think. You will always be alone. In the darkness, that timeless space of the early hours of morning, all of a sudden something inside me shifts. I realize it's not true. I am not alone. What once felt like emptiness inside me is filled with numerous presences. We have always known that we are multiple people sharing the same body. And right now, it's the only thing that feels real. Lena, our scared little child, is bearing all our fear and pain of loneliness and rejection. Ravenlock, charming and caring, acknowledges her pain and meets it with love. Ash, ever the angry fighter, decides to put a stop to that emotional flood and gets Lena to read Star Trek fanfiction all night. She travels to places where differences are valued, curiosity is a gift, and people care about each other. For the first time, we feel hope. That night is the beginning of a slow but steady climb towards the light. We have a lot to learn. Ash thinks that self-hate is a good way to keep people from hurting us. And Nick wants to be more present, but is always pushed aside by our constant stream of distressing emotions. But we are trying hard, and it shows. We are in this together, and we will get each other out of this pit of darkness. Together, we start turning our life around. I hear about a boarding school in Trieste, a different city in Italy. The admission process is arduous, but it will allow me to leave South Tyrol. I am like a drowning man seeing the shape of land in the distance. My guts burn with need. I have to get away from this sad parody of a home that has never done anything but take things away from me. After a 1-year-long admission process that includes essays, interviews, and group projects, the email arrives. I am accepted. I call Georgia. Georgia, I got in. With the first friend I've had in a long time sharing my excitement, I can see that the gates of the future are open, and the possibilities are endless. I can almost believe that I'll be able to experience joy one day. I am 16, and I am sitting on a train that will leave my hometown and bring me to my new boarding school. Rain streams down the windows like the tears are running down my cheeks. I lean my head on the cold glass window and think about Alicia, how she showed me what home and love could feel like. When she took them away, she sparked the flame inside me. Now, I am going in search of love and home, and I won't stop until I have found them. We, Ash, Nick, Lena, Ravenlock, Lynn, and Artie, we won't be alone forever.